All right. So we got the new Boruto chapter. I'm gonna do this just like I do every other chapter, and I'll try to do it quick though, because obviously this is Boruto. I don't want to talk about this shit forever, even though I could, right? Anyway, this background, much like the last one, I kind of like it. His pose, I don't. This is some JoJo pose shit, but he's not a JoJo character, and so it doesn't really work. And he has the same problem with everybody else's anatomy that they have, where their proportions kind of look off. So that their torso and in relativity to like their legs, it's just off, bro. It's just all off. Sometimes people, their arms look longer than they should, or the legs look way shorter than they should on their torso, on their body. So that shit's all fucked up, and I see it prevalent right here. But I'm going too hard on the art, right? Because I could dissect all this shit. But the little background shit, I don't know what the fuck he does. I'm gonna try to learn, I'm gonna try to dissect it and mimic it. But I like the last color better, but this color is starting to grow on me. Before I started the video, I was gonna say I didn't like this color, but I actually do like this color too. Anyway, it's the way he draws the pattern. I kind of fuck with that. I hope I don't find out it's not him doing that, because that's one of the only praises I could really give him. But let's go in, right? Mitsuki, as we've seen, he fought all the claw grinds. I've seen people talking about this, right? And by the way, I have a problem with this too, because we've seen a character like Code before his limiters were off, bodying claw grinds on his own. We've seen Sarada before Mangekyo clapping claw grind ass in the middle of the Leaf Village. And I'm pretty sure somebody like Konohamaru was fighting claw grinds too, bodying them. That's why he stayed alive, right? So we got characters like that fighting claw grinds back to back, multiple of them, with no problem one-shotting them even, right? And all of a sudden, Mitsuki here, he needs this Sage Mode power to combat these claw grinds. Maybe it's because he was tired. He's using the Sage Mode to compensate for how he was tired. I just thought of that. That's headcanon. I always try to make excuses for this dude, Kishimoto and Ikimoto. You can't keep doing it. No, never mind. He's not even tired. He's visibly not tired. He's just handling the claw grinds with his Sage Mode. He's not even breathing heavy. That's not anything to take note of. He's in perfect condition. He's ready to go even help Boruto, actually, when we see this shit. So that's enough with this page, right? I'm starting to linger. So, also, we found out Arya took the thorn bulb, and he's going to get, what's his name? Shiki. Gaara's adoptive son. He's going to get him awakened and all that, or maybe even Gaara. So, after he wake him up, the Iron Sand could be undone. Gaara gets woken up too, right? All the other shit. So, yeah. After this, and Yodo is useless. I hate Yodo. She's useless. But we go back to Boruto versus Jura. And Jura is still standing there. I hate how he's just always with his hands in his pocket, right? First of all, can I say this? I might title the video this, because Jura, I understand the type of character they're trying to make him, right? Because Jura's a philosopher, in the sense that, not that he has a lot of philosophy already to be sharing and telling people. He doesn't really make his own, but in the sense of what the philosopher is at their root, he loves the knowledge, the search for knowledge. So that's what he's all about, right? He's a philosopher. He's questioning the basics. I think I said this before in a video, right? If you watch my videos, I said this before. He's questioning like the everything, like, reality, what life is. He's having all these different existential questions and philosophical questions about life and existence and all that sort of shit. And what sort of like the concepts and social constructs of humanity, like, certain emotions and the ideas of friendships and camaraderie and all that sort of shit. So he's questioning everything. He's trying to understand it. He even mentioned aesthetics. The fact that he mentioned aesthetics, I'm pretty sure I said this before too. That's straight up a philosophical, that's a philosophical belief right there, right? Aesthetics, that's a part of philosophy, okay? The idea of beauty, and the beauty can be found in certain things, and trying to find beauty in those things and realizing it and acknowledging the beauty in things, right? That's a part of philosophy. A lot of things in life, most things can be broken down into a philosophical point of view. We can get philosophical about anime and manga in general. So that speaks volumes in and of itself. But let me go on from here, right? Jura shooting energy blast with his right eye, right? So my problem with this paneling is, and there was more pages to this, right? But either way, Boruto was standing across from Jura. First of all, I mentioned a long time ago in the first part of Boruto how Ikimoto draws panels all the time. And his paneling, I don't like his paneling, first of all, because he has an overuse of speed lines. Okay, he has an overuse of speed lines, and I see he's starting to do a lot more slanted diagonal panels to kind of try to convey action and stuff, because he used to have a lot of action panels drawn in just straight up squares before, like this. And then he's starting to do this a lot more too. He's starting to space out dialogue between smaller panels and like showing scenery and stuff like that in the opening sometimes. But during action, there's no scenery at all still. That's one of his problems. He fails to show the proper scale and layout of the battlefield. Because if you see right here in this panel, Boruto jumps in the air to fly above a Biju bomb that Jura's shooting at him, right? And Boruto flies in the air diagonally up to the right. But for some reason, okay, this panel's awkward because it's showing him to the left, like he's clinging on with the wrong side. So from this perspective, this is Boruto's left, right? This is our right, this is Boruto's left. He's jumping up on his left, toward his left, top left. And he's automatically clinging on a rock facing this way. That's weird to me. Okay, this angle is weird, but I understood it after I realized, okay, that's Boruto looking at him from the top right. Boom, that's no problem. But this is a problem for me, right? Jura is looking up at Boruto. This does not seem like it's that high up, right? It's not that far away, right? It's not that high of an altitude, relatively, right? Jura then springs off the ground and flies up Boruto with all these speed lines. Whoosh. He's supposed to be flying super fast at Boruto, right? Because we see there was a panel. Oh, do I not have the panel? Fuck. There was a panel. His feet start floating off the ground. And then he jumps up and he starts flying at Boruto. Yet, he's still in the same exact fucking spot, basically, relative to where we saw him before. Even though he's flying up at Boruto, Boruto jumps straight up, but that's actually a side jump, so the camera's tilted on Boruto. Ignore my background, right? My footage ran out of footage. So, we see here, Jura shooting Boruto with his little volley attack. I didn't like this panel either, right? Now, this panel is fine. This is fine. I actually don't find too much of a problem with it, because obviously we know he's in pursuit now. Whatever, he's in pursuit. So that's a problem with paneling, right? When the action isn't clearly conveyed from one panel to the next, like choreography, or like what is the word? I'm not editing this video, so I'm trying to keep it quick, right? But like storyboarding or choreography within some sort of a film or something like that, right? Animation or something, right? Because all that shit comes together. Storyboarding, choreography, paneling is kind of similar to that. Of course, it's obviously different specific minutiae and different specific things just in general, but it's kind of similar to that, right? If it was on a Venn diagram, there's definitely a lot of intersection, okay? That's my point. So, this is fine. That's fine too. This whole paneling is kind of fine, right? But I don't like how this kunai is seen flying at Jura and it's going to clash with his eye, but it just seemingly doesn't. I guess it exploded right here on impact. They could have shown the explosion on impact. I'm assuming that's what they're trying to convey here. So the booth is his kunai exploding on a Biju bomb, which doesn't make any sense, because wouldn't it make a bigger fucking explosion, right? So I don't understand what happened to the Biju bomb, first of all. Maybe it flew off in the background because they have a lot of Biju bombs blowing up in the background. You're gonna see that a little bit later if I took a screenshot of it. But and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, damn, where are the craters at? How is this landscape not like being completely destroyed in a lot of different ways? There should be sinkholes somewhere if you're blowing up areas in the desert, right? Maybe. Okay, they're not thinking of that. Okay, so Boruto, yeah, he does his thing, flying Rajin behind Jura, and he's swinging at him. Jura presumably uses his claw to clash with Boruto's sword, and it knocks it out of his hand. It disarms him. Jura goes in for the stab with his finger hand, right? Boruto dodges it with flying Rajin. He cuts off his leg after he does the Sasuke style trick with flying Rajin, so he's kind of like not switching places with his sword, but you know, he's teleporting to the object now that it's behind Jura to catch him off guard. It's like the Sasuke Naruto technique, right? It's their style of thing. So they're trying to do a little callback, especially because he's using flying Rajin. This one earlier was like literally flying Rajin, like, you know, Minato style without the Rasengan attack. So Boruto's going for basic attacks too this whole time. If he's able to move this fast and get it on, I would imagine, like, when you try to like enhance your blade with lightning like Sasuke does, if you can do purple lightning as we see later. So he cuts his leg off. Apparently Jura cannot heal it. He's doing multiple stabs, okay? Rapid stab, fast. So he says, this is another part I didn't like. I know I was ranting right there. I gotta describe things, right? I'm trying to make it quick. So I didn't like the fact that Boruto was noted by Jura to be tired, right? Jura said, "You're tired, Otsutsuki Boruto," right? You're getting sluggish. He said it might be faster to clobber you to death than try to hit you with my Biju bombs. So what does he do? He actually goes in to try to just clobber him to death, right? Even though earlier he was trying to stab the shit out of Boruto lethally. He's going for lethal, decisive blows because I thought he was a smart, kind of like, you know, focused, you know, intentional, like he has the intent. Everything he's doing is intended and like purposeful, right? I thought he was going to try to stab Boruto. What does he do? No, he goes in for a punch when he could have clearly stabbed the shit out of Boruto in his heart and fucking killed him like Kawaki did. How come this punch isn't fucking killing him? How come it's not blowing a hole through his chest? You can argue, oh, it's because Boruto is part Otsutsuki, so since he's relative to him, I guess, you know, it's like a human, it's like a strong human punching a weaker human. He's not gonna punch a hole through him, but it's gonna hurt him. It's gonna fucking hurt him a whole fucking lot, right? Okay, I can see that. But why would he not go for the stab, right? Why would he not go for the fucking stab? That's stupid. It makes no sense. And then what the fuck does he do? He flies away. He retreats from Boruto and then shoots a Biju bomb at him. So not only do I have a problem with Ikimoto's paneling, right? Because this whole paneling situation, their exchange of these hands and shit, I don't like this. First of all, I don't like this. I don't like the earlier one. I don't like this. I don't like the earlier one either, before in the last chapter when they were fighting and Boruto was jumping on the rocks. I don't like that, okay? And then Jura, not only is his paneling bad, but his choreography, his storyboarding, whichever word you would like to contribute to this more, because both of them exist within a manga, right? It doesn't matter. Anime too. Except for paneling in anime, that just has choreography and storyboarding. But this has all three, right? I hate the way he draws people's intentions in the file. I hate his poses, the action poses he uses sometimes, because it's kind of the same shit all the time. I hate the angles he chooses to have the character facing. I hate the type of attacks he chooses to use to make a character fight. The battles don't really flow, paneling aside, not flowing. The battles don't flow like the characters punch each other, they start clashing like Dragon Ball, okay? And then they run away, they reset, jump back from each other. It's a jump back. This time it's the, oh yeah, I'm gonna grab Boruto's hand. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid, bro. Boruto used purple lightning right here too. I didn't take a screenshot of that for some reason. He used purple lightning right here, and then he got him knocked away. So they have a reset, and then they dash back in, punch him, dash away, dash back in, punch him. You know what I mean? Like, knock him away. It's like the same fucking loop of like, oh, I'm gonna knock you away, and then like the fight has nowhere to go but back and forth in this little area of white space, especially because it's fucking white space. So there's no interesting environment to even use. Like if there was like some sort of a cave over to the left that Boruto noticed, and he flew, because he can fucking fly. If you want to imitate Dragon Ball, since he wants to imitate Dragon Ball, right? Because that's exactly what he wants to do, and it's not just me saying that. He said it himself, right? So if you want to imitate Dragon Ball, why not have Boruto notice a cave is over to the left? He flies over to the cave and lures Jura inside, and Jura is like, you know, doesn't just blow through the cave and blow it up because of his personality. He's intrigued, like, why would you run inside of this room to hide? What is in here? Like, you know, some shit like that, because he's so inquisitive and he wants to understand everything. And then Boruto can play on that and trick him or something like that. And how come the fights aren't happening like that? I understand Boruto's supposed to be getting like his ass whooped, but you can still have that happen in a creative, fun way. Could you not? So I think it's kind of trash that they're I don't like this, man. Like, what is Kishimoto doing? I wonder what Kishimoto's extent, like what the extent of his like hand in this play is, man, because they said that he's, you know, he's part of the writing team now. I have a video about that because I don't think he's not just a writer, right? There's multiple writers on the table. I think there's 4 of them now, including Kishimoto. After after Kodachi got taken off the team, right? There was still Kishimoto, Ikimoto, and one other guy. Some other guys on the team now, so there's 4 people. I'm pretty sure. If not, then there's 3 people. It's Ikimoto, Kishimoto, and one other guy, like an editor or some sort, and they all write and think of the plans. Go watch my video. I talked about it. If you don't believe me, I did the research. So I don't like this choreography. I don't like the type of fights that he has happening, sort of scenarios. And he wants to play on the Sasuke sword, right? I said it multiple times. Like, this shit is corny. It's like forced. It's some forced emotional bond. Like, we don't have to, like, why is he forcing Boruto to, I know why it makes sense why he cares about the sword, but why is this being a thing? He's just trying to harp on that theme of love, right? That's all it is. So Boruto can have this attachment to this thing, this object, and Jura can question it and try to understand it, but he doesn't have this thing because, you know, he's not human and all that sort of shit, right? At the end of the day, it's going to be because he's not human, right? He's not human. The other SHINJU are more human than Jura is, right? And I said this before in the video too. That's why I still think Hidari is going to do his Sasuke thing and turn coat and become a traitor. I think, like, even there was a panel, right? I have a theory about this. Let me skip ahead. There's a panel where I don't think I have it here. Damn, I think there was a panel where you see Hidari reaching his hand out to Sarada. I think it's in one of his future flashbacks. I think that's going to be Hidari doing the forehead thing. He touches Sarada's forehead like Sasuke does. They're probably gonna even mirror the whole idea of like him trying to go reach for her eyes after she, you know, gets her ass whooped, but then he touches her forehead or some shit. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do exactly, but a lot of the shit is generally predictable. I've predicted everything so far that's been happening, and no, not everything. Let me not say that, but everything I've predicted has been right. Let me say that. All right, I can say that one. I can say that. So let me get into this, right? This is what I was questioning before, because I was wondering, I have a lot of questions about how Kashin Koji's time ability actually worked, because we only had a general explanation. So then whatever happens can be shifted and explained, suited to fit whatever's happening, right? That's what I feel like he wrote this power with the safety net installed within it. I said this in the video too. I'm gonna keep saying that. But I feel like Kashin Koji's ability, right, has a paradox with its first installment, with its first release. And I said this before, so I'll keep it short here. But Boruto, the fact that Boruto learned his abilities because Kashin Koji saw a Boruto who learned those abilities. You know what I mean? Like, what Boruto was he looking at? That's the paradox. I'm not going to dive into any deeper and explain it here, but that's the paradox I'm talking about. It's like the grandfather paradox almost, right? That's a prominent paradox when it comes to speaking of, you know, quantum mechanics, and I guess not even just that, like just time travel theories, right? So the grandfather, time travel theories. I'm not quantum mechanics really, but yeah. So the grandfather paradox is a thing. So because a linear timeline is another theory, and this works on a non-linear timeline. A branching timeline is what it would be called. The theory of a branching timeline, as this is called. That's why the video I have, also I said, I'm going to keep saying this if you're here watching, because I want to give you all the information, right? I have a tree, and I call it that infinite branches of possibility. I said the fruit of the soul and possibility control, because this power is essentially the ability to control the possible outcomes of the future from the now, right? Because you're not going back in time. There's no past mechanics. There's no past shenanigans. You're acting from the now. And I already said earlier that something like this could possibly happen. I wonder how they're going to write it, because it's going to be tricky and it probably wouldn't make any sense. Because Kashin Koji, with them explaining that he knows everything because he saw everything, so he saw every possible future, infinite futures. He said infinite. Are you telling me you saw infinite futures except for the one where the Boruto that you just now, like, this is why I think it's a paradox. I mean, not a paradox. Yeah, it's like a paradox or an inconsistency, right? It's a contradiction too. It's multiple things. Because the Boruto that he already informed about his ability of being able to see the future, he already became a singularity point. Him being a singularity point does not omit him from being witnessed and viewed within these branches of infinite possibilities. So Boruto his future can still be perceived by Kashin Koji, even though he's a singularity point, just like Kashin Koji himself, right? That's kind of irrelevant at this point. So Boruto, he knows about Kashin Koji's ability, singularity point. Thus, he has the ability, or I guess he has the option now. He has the option and knowledge to change something that he knows was going to occur, because this is the path that we are currently set on based on causality, right? The cause has to come before the effect. So based on what path the Kashin Koji knows is happening or knows can happen, Boruto and Kashin Koji can devise a plan to either avert that path or make that path happen. Now, all the little percentage chance of possibility and how much it can happen, and you have this much percent chance of dying, Boruto, all that sort of shit, that's writing stuff, and we can't really scale that specifically. Like if he says 90-30, okay, that's just a general idea for us viewers, right? We're not going to get into that part. But the fact that he can see all these futures, and he told a Boruto that also can change these futures. You telling me, this is what I'm getting to, right? You telling me that Kashin Koji with his infinite futures couldn't see the possible future where he told Boruto already? Because he's already seen the Boruto that he taught shit and he told shit. He's already seen the singularity Boruto do things based on what he's already told him, because he said the future's already been changing now since I'm talking to you and telling you shit, and we've been here and I've told you and let you in on my plan and all that. The future's been changed. A lot of them has changed, right? So you telling me none of them, because this is the current timeline they're living in, you telling me none of them had Boruto in Kawaki laying down in that desert, Boruto laying in the desert, and Kawaki standing over him, stabbing him, until now, just for us viewers, to give us some fake suspense for Boruto, and seemingly making it feel like he's gonna die, even though nobody fucking believed that, right? Nobody believed that. It's just a question, like, bro, what are they gonna do to try to make him not die? Because obviously he's not gonna die. What are they gonna do to like just stop this part of the plot progressing that way? Because obviously it can't progress that way, right? Boruto's not going to die, right? So that's my question. It's like, bro, this is stupid. So the way he fixed it, he tried to fix that, is he made it so Kashin Koji's receiving updates. So he apparently like didn't get the whole future, but he said he had infinite futures and he saw everything. So that doesn't make sense. That contradicts what they told us before. Okay, this is the panel I was talking about earlier, by the way, with Hidari reaching out. I think this is going to be like the whole little Sasuke thing. This is definitely futures branching off from what's happening now, the different possibilities. But that's my problem. He should have been able to see this moment. Maybe he didn't like check all the branches that branched off for this moment. Maybe he just overlooked this moment. That I feel like that could have been better, because it feels like they're trying to give us a reason. Like, oh, Boruto told Kawaki something, didn't he? Bro, why does it matter if he told him something and you were unaware of that? Because other parts of the future have changed outside of your knowledge. You know, like, and they're going to change outside of your knowledge, because you don't literally control the future, and the possibilities happen or they don't happen unless you do something, right? And if you do something, you know the outcome of what's going to happen. If you do something, he knows the outcome of what happens if he does something with being a singularity. So he knows how the future is going to shift in certain ways. He knows that. That's why he can tell Boruto, like, bro, if you do this, you have your chances are 0. But if you do this, your chance. That's why he's making these plans, cutting people out. Or maybe his ability doesn't work fully the way he said at all to Boruto. Maybe he completely lied to Boruto, and none of that shit about he's seen infinite everything and all that shit is true. Because if it is, why is he getting an update? Why is he getting an update? This update shit is new. So I feel like he's only seeing a limited branches. I feel like he lied to Boruto. He might be seeing limited branches of the future. And based on those, he's trying to piece together the perfect future or some shit like that, right? Maybe that's the way, that's the best example. I mean, it's the best way this could work out. Other than that, this shit is still broke. I'm not buying the whole, oh, Boruto secretly told Kawaki something, so all the panels are just going blank and rewriting themselves on this specific day, once that action that Boruto said to him like 4 days ago is now happening 3 days later. Now your shit's react. Nah, bro, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I feel like there's something else going on. Maybe he's picking which one they're living in. Maybe he's picking which fucking branch they're in. So he's thinking, okay, everything is going according to this future because I just chose this one, right? But then since Boruto knows how this one's gonna go, that's how he's able to change, and then everything's not, other than that, because he's standing outside of them. There's absolute time kind of law present with his ability. So he's seeing every future outside of his own and his own. So that wouldn't necessarily make sense unless something about his ability was a linear future, really. Like he can see multiple different ones, but he can only choose one to exist in or one to be their present. And it's not like they're actually all sprouting off each other like he told him. So he makes Boruto think that they can like perfectly, more safely pick a better future. I don't know. I'm going too far with that, but I don't know if you see what I mean. Like Boruto can more safely pick a better future because he thinks like the better, like if you're going more green, I don't even know how to explain this shit. Like, okay, if we have a good outcome right here, then the higher chances of better outcomes sprouting from this good outcome increase, and then thus those have higher ones and higher ones, so it'll just be a blooming effect of great outcomes if you choose the right branch. That's what he's trying to make Boruto think, but he doesn't really know that that this doesn't exist. There's only this one branch, and there's only a certain amount of good things that happen in here. He has to choose the lesser of the evils and choose the branch where like he knew Yoda was gonna die, right? So that maybe that's coming into play right there. Maybe Ikimoto and Kishimoto, they're not as dumb as I'm giving them credit for, right? Maybe that's coming into play right there. Yoda, the fact that he knew Yoda was gonna die and it had to happen, maybe that's playing into what I'm saying. So it's not branching possibilities. He's choosing from infinite linear times. He's choosing from infinite linear timelines, not infinite branching timelines. They're not branching possibilities. They're infinite linear ones. They're all lined up in a row, and he can choose which one to hop step into. And it's not like he can shift it in the middle. Once it's happening, it's happening. Okay? I feel like that's what the fuck's going on. I don't know. And then they can rewrite it on their own in certain areas because they know what's going on. Maybe replace this part with that part. I don't know what the fuck's going on because that doesn't make sense any other way. I don't think. So yeah, Kawaki stabbed his eye, right? The new futures are popping up. Himawari is maybe going to fight. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This panel looks like nothing is. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay, I'm not even going. It's like she ain't wearing shit. And this dude is up here. Who is this? Little dude with the did his eye get stabbed out too? Enojin? Okay. Yeah, I just don't like half of this panel. And like, then he says, okay, I'm going to finish you off with a Biju bomb. And he flies up in the air to do it instead of just sniping him through the back of his head with the small one or in his chest or something, or he could have just stabbed him with his finger. Oh, he said, I want to respect you though. That's respect. I'm just going to blow you up in one blow. Yeah, okay. No pain, right? Okay. I get it. See, Kawaki does his thing and he gets his vision update like I was going on a rant about. Kawaki's here, right? Kawaki's here. Now, this leads me to the only other thing I could talk about. Now, I'm not going to talk about this again. I already said earlier what I think is going on here. I think this definitely means that Bug is pulling up. This looks like it could be a leaf. I see like a window there. Maybe they're inside some secret Ten Tails Otsutsuki building because I don't know where they're at now. Apparently, Boruto can teleport to a different dimension, but he can't teleport to the cave that Kashin Koji's in while he's fighting Jura. So stupid. I said that last video too. Because remember when he first encountered the SHINJU, he teleported with Code to Code in a different dimension. The SHINJU were fighting him. He was trapped in a tree, and then he teleported back to the leaf or whatever, or some shit like that. Back home, right? Back to the tree that Sasuke was sleeping next to before he died. So how the fuck do you get back to Earth? The planet, the realm of Earth, and you were at some other realm. I'm gonna refer to them as realms because I think that's what they were intended to be as. We know planets and space travel and spaceships, but I think they just like, we're going to realms. The gods know their celestial bodies because they've seen them from the outside, right? All that sort of shit. Ninjas got telescopes though, so that they know about that shit too, right? I'm tripping. I'm going on other rants, digressing. Ninjas know about science. That's another digression. But listen, it's going to end here. Kawaki filled him with holes. He's doing damage to him. So I wonder how Jura is going to fare. Like, what's going to happen? Is Jura going to evolve? Is something else going to happen? Is another SHINJU going to be somewhere? As I said before, why is Jura and his crew the only SHINJU when multiple other people got absorbed? And the Ten Tails can absorb chakra from any point in time except for the future, possibly. Maybe it could absorb it from the future, I don't know. But it can absorb chakra from the past, far in the past. Will we see a Madara SHINJU? I think I've heard somebody say that before. Will we see a SHINJU of Naruto? Or like somebody else who existed on the planet? Possibly. I don't know. Like, how come we haven't seen one of those other people in the leaf? That's my biggest question. So Boruto's gonna have to deal with his karma. He's telling Kawaki to ignore him and just use his power. I don't know why Kawaki still needs karma to fight Jura, because he doesn't train, right? So he still is gonna try to unleash all of his power. If he's unleashing karma, they better have Kawaki one-sidedly whooping Jura's ass. Jura should have to retreat because Kawaki using karma now and he's on the level of Jura instantly, and he's using karma, which is like damn near a ×5 multiplier, some shit, ×2 at least. And he's doubling up his power because Boruto as a kid, before Two Blue Vortex, was able to fight Naruto, and Boruto could have killed Naruto in the first part toward the end as a kid, before Two Blue Vortex, okay, before the Sasuke ninja training off the Leaf Village, right? Boruto was strong enough to possibly and potentially kill his father. And I know a lot of people do that meme like, oh, because they're Boruto super fans, and they try to throw that shit up like, oh, Naruto fans don't want to accept that Boruto. But it's not about accepting anything. It's just stupid and it's bullshit, first of all. I think I'm not like a super Naruto fan, so, but I think maybe if there are Naruto fans that don't, that feel that way, it's like, bro, y'all don't, it's nothing to accept. Y'all, maybe because they don't watch Boruto, they just hear it and they think it's stupid, or they don't want to believe it. But maybe they're just ignorant to it, right? But it's nothing to accept, bro. That's just what it is, because that's what they're writing it to be. Boruto is already stronger than Naruto as a kid. And people are going to say, oh, but the younger generation, the next generation is supposed to surpass the previous generation. That's what they said. Yeah, but in a natural way, or not always natural. Let me not say that. But yeah, and it was different. It feels fucking different. If you want to ask me how it was different, maybe I'll talk about it or make a video. But it was just different, bro, okay? It wasn't because of convoluted writing and Deus Ex Machinas and just because the character is supposed to be like stronger because his enemies are strong. He didn't train, or they didn't write some reason. It's not supposed to be like that. But listen, man, I've been talking for long enough. I think I'm done with this video, right? I think I'm done here. This was a good video, I feel like. I hope it came out well. I hope the volume's cool. I'm done, man. I got a lot more thoughts on Boruto. Like I said, I could talk about this shit forever, man. I really don't like Jora's design either. It's stupid. Kawaki's wearing 2 belts. He got the Leaf Village belt on, whatever. That's cool. He's still repping the village. I just wish, like, you know what I feel like? Let me say this now. I'm gonna make another video about this, but if you listen this far, I'm saying this now so I can, you know, have it timestamped. And I don't want anybody to say I stole their idea and their theory, right? Kawaki's character. Obviously, if it's not obvious for you, then damn, I hate your literacy skills, man. But listen, and your perception, right? Your perception is out the window. But Kawaki obviously is the type of character who even his name, right? It's like he's a shell or vessel or whatever. So in the way he acts, like he's gonna keep his feelings, his true feelings inside. He, like they said, he wears the mask, right? And they said he shows his true self to everybody else. That's what Ikimoto said. Like everybody shows their true self to you know, only certain people or nobody, and then they wear a certain type of mask outside when they're out to everybody else. To a degree, that might be true. To an extent, that is a real idea. That concept is really, really true, and it's not just a concept, right? I said it like that, you know, just so you can get the idea. Kawaki is that type of person. That's why he said that, because Kawaki, even with Himawari, right? We know his deal with Himawari. We know his deal with Naruto. We know his deal with Boruto. Boruto, it might not feel like that, but with Himawari, we at least know that, right? That he doesn't literally hate Himawari. He literally tried to save her, and he gets mad at Shikamaru. He gets mad when Himawari is in danger, and he goes to try to help her, and he even said, like Shikamaru, like, old nigga, like, what are you talking about? That's the top priority. Fuck all the other shit you talking about. Himawari's in danger, you should have started with that. So he's already ready to crash out for Himawari, especially because she's Naruto's daughter, and he has that respect for that family, right? So, you know, yeah, he's fucking with Himawari. We know that, right? My point in saying that is the way he acts toward her, especially with saying, "Don't call me brother," shut the fuck up with that shit. On the surface, that's his defense mechanism. That's his subconscious reaction to ward off the obvious truth, right? And it's not so obvious for even the characters in there because they don't understand it and they don't get it all the time. But Kawaki talks to her like that because, one, he still doesn't see himself as shit. He doesn't see himself as shit, especially after what he did to Naruto and Boruto. because he killed Boruto and he sealed Naruto away. He doesn't see himself as shit, especially for that. He doesn't care for himself after those two things, right? He regrets those things, but he still had to do them because of his personality. He's the type of character who he's gonna do what, like, anything, any means necessary. I forget there's a word for that type of mentality in the field of like psychology, of like a motherfucker like that who's just gonna do. And it's not sociopath. It's not just a sociopath, okay? It's not exactly that, because it's different. He's on some Aaron Yeager shit, so maybe it is a little sociopathic, but there's something else there. I'll search it up and you know, because it's escaping my mind right now. But so he's hiding his true intentions and feelings. So he respects Boruto still as Himawari's true brother, and he doesn't think he should be even anywhere near that title. So that's why he rejects it so vehemently when Himawari speaks of it and speaks it to him, right? And then we have the whole aspect of him, you know, not caring about his own life and all that sort of shit, right? Because of how he was raised, and he is what he hates now, especially. He literally is what he hates, and he rejects his whole being on two different levels, especially having been a person who has been like, he knows he's not really good in a lot of areas because he's been raised a bad way or whatnot, right? So he's rejected Naruto's love in a lot of ways and other people's love, and then he shit on it or trampled on it and then kind of take it for granted when he does have it, and he didn't have any before. So there's a lot of things going on with that. My main point in saying all that part is because in the end, my theory is, in the end, Kawaki, that's when he's going to crack, and then we're going to see metaphorically the vessel crack and the mask come off, and we're going to see him like spill out kind of like how he truly feels, or we're going to see how he truly feels expressed clearly in some sort of way, whether that's like extreme emotional outburst, but not like an anger one, angry. I'm fucking tongue twisted. I'm tired. You know, forgive it. But anger fueled, anger induced fucking rage or anything like that. But it could be more of a calm, like, or just like a flat out like sad, sentimental emotion, or it could be anything like that, or it could be just conveyed through some sort of like strong action, or him not talking angry no more. Like I said, it could be calm, like, yo, listen, stop, I got this, I gotta take care of y'all, blah blah blah, fuck it, I know I've been fucking up, bro, I got y'all. I don't know what the fuck it's gonna turn out to be, but I feel like Kawaki's gonna crack, he might even break down. I think it's gonna be a breakdown. It's gonna be a breakdown. That water in that vase that he has, it's gonna start pouring out, because the vase is getting cracks in it. That's the whole metaphor to keep up with him. So that vase is getting cracks in it, the pressure's building up. That's what I think is gonna happen eventually, in some way, shape, or form. You know, that's it. That's all I got to say. I'm out. Boruto, one more thing. You think Boruto is going to turn into Momoshiki? What's going to happen in this chapter? Is he going to turn into Momoshiki, or is Kawaki going to take the fight away from Boruto? That'd be the smart thing, right? Because that's always a possibility. Like, yo, just take the fight. Because Kawaki knows that his shit's going to act up. That's why he said, if you turn, I'm going to kill you. So wouldn't Kawaki just take the fight away from Boruto because he can? Right? Maybe send Boruto somewhere with his transportation jutsu? Because he knows Boruto can get out if he tried to seal him away eventually or some shit, right? But I don't know. Anyway, I'm out for real this time.